Hello fellow otakus, and welcome back to another Comics video. Today we will be counting down our top 10 picks for Rimuru Tempest's coolest abilities in Reincarnated as a slime. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell icon for notifications on upcoming content. With that, let's jump right into our top 10 picks for Rimuru Tempest's coolest abilities in Reincarnated as a slime, shall we? Number 10, Magic Sense. This ability was one of the first abilities Rimuru learned he could use, which provided to be quite useful to see and communicate. When Rimuru was reincarnated as a slime, he came to realize, thanks to his dragon buddy, that this new world was full of magic. And not only can Rimuru use it himself, but he can sense it just about anywhere. This is what initially allowed him as a slime to see his surroundings. With this ability, Rimuru can not only detect the presence and nature of nearby magic, but he can also create an accurate mental image of what the item emitting that magic energy looks like. This ability can even allow Rimuru to understand languages that he's never heard before. Pretty nifty, eh? Number 9. Thought communication. Here is another ability that doesn't look like much from the outside, but it is essential for Rimuru's growing community. I'm sure some of you caught yourself asking, how does Rimuru, a slime, talk when the series first started? Well, that's simple, as Rimuru has the power of telepathy. This is vital for communicating while in slime form, and he can use it to send orders or warnings to any friends and allies within a certain radius. Thought communication is a higher version of telepathy. It is stronger because it's possible to have a conversation with multiple people using links compared to a single individual. Its effective range is about 1 kilometer and gives Rimuru quite the advantage when it comes to tactical warfare. Number 8. Sticky Steel Thread. This is a technique that Rimuru acquired early on for defensive capabilities, and it can be used in all sorts of ways. Rimuru can conjure spiderwebs that are not only hard, but as sharp as steel. And in some cases, he uses them to trap an opponent as though they're a fly caught in a web. This leaves him vulnerable to a follow-up attack like Water Blade. But he can also use these steel webs to block off an enemy's escape route, secure his allies' escape, or capture someone without harming them. A couple of Rimuru's allies have also been seen using this ability quite skillfully to achieve their goals and take out any enemies that stand in their way. Number 7. Shadow Step. Shadow Step is an interesting skill that is seen throughout the anime to be used by almost all of Rimuru's subordinates. It allows the user to merge into one shadow. This is seen with the direwolves merging into their master's shadows to conceal themselves. It also allows them to appear out of a shadow in another location, but this is dependent on the strength of the individual. This can be useful when you need to travel between locations quickly. Number 6. Degenerate, or Deviant in the light novel. Degenerate is a unique skill originally owned by Shizuo Izue. After consuming her, Rimuru inherited this ability, which funny enough gives him a physical body very similar in looks to the departed Shizu. This often at times leads people to believe Rimuru is a girl, despite Rimuru reincarnated is actually genderless as a slime. Degenerate has 2 effects: synthesis, which transforms 2 different targets into a single object, and separation, which releases the properties inherent to the target and makes it into a separate object. Number 5. Black Thunder. This is a skill created by Great Sage via linking the Black Lightning skill with the Molecular Manipulation skill. Unlike Black Lightning, Black Thunder does not require the body of a true dragon or the horn of a Tempest Star Wolf. It can be used even in human form and is more energy efficient than Black Lightning. Not to mention the name just sounds cool. This ability can be quite devastating and has been performed on many occasions to try and demonstrate his power or scare Rimuru's enemies. Number 4. Ultra Speed Regeneration. When thinking of a gelatinous creature such as a slime, it is pretty evident and common to think that a slime would easily be able to regenerate parts of its body because, well, it's a slime. The only thing different in this case is Rimuru takes it to a whole other level. Rimuru, when fighting, can restore any lost body part, and with powers as formidable as his, makes him almost unbeatable in combat. He even learns evolved forms of regeneration later, allowing him to reconstitute himself even faster and restore lost clothing. Number 3. Thermal Fluctuation. With this particular ability, not only is Rimuru resistant to both hot and cold attacks, they are automatically nullified when coming into contact with him. A flaming ball of fire becomes more like a sauna, while freezing ice attacks become nothing but a cool breeze. This makes a lot of fights with Rimuru pretty one-sided when there is nothing enemies can do to hurt him. Number 2. Great Sage. This is one of the first two unique skills that Rimuru had upon reincarnation into his new world. It has evolved from the skill Sage during his death. Great Sage is a conceptual intelligence that has a heartless and emotionless personality, and is solely driven by purely logical computations. It only cares for the benefit of its master Rimuru, even going so far as to hide things from Rimuru if it deemed it beneficial for him in the long run. With this Great Sage comes great responsibilities, and some of the things it can do are impressive. Not only can it increase his thought processing speed by thousands of times, but it also is an important feature when analyzing anything Rimuru eats. Not to mention its capability to put him into auto battle mode when Rimuru gets himself into a pickle. Before we get down to our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions that I must squeeze in because they're just so dang cool. Gluttony. This is a unique skill that is an evolved form of Predator created by combining it with the skill Starved. Gluttony keeps 4 of the 5 original abilities of Predator, while the stomach capacity doubles, and the sub-skills Corrosion, Receive, and Supply are added. Water Blade. Water Blade is a common skill used by Rimuru, allowing him to shoot at a thin water blade with tremendous cutting power. Interesting enough, following the principles behind hydraulic propulsion and water current control, Rimuru was able to hone his skills cutting things with water. After a week of practice, he had increased the pressure of his hydraulic propulsion water gun enough to cut through a boulder, acquiring the skill Water Blade. Number 1. Predator. With this ability, it shouldn't be a shock that it ranks in at number 1, because it's the one ability that makes most of Rimuru Tempest's powers possible. It comes with a few important features. Not only does his stomach allow him to store mass amounts of objects or targets in isolation from each other, but he's able to analyze and replicate a target's appearance after consumption. Not only that, but he can analyze and replicate objects as well, which is why he's so crafty with those healing potions. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you liked our top 10 picks for Rimuru Tempest's coolest abilities in Reincarnated as a Slime. What did you think of our top 10? Which abilities would you have changed or added? You can let us know in the comments down below. As always, this is Ryan with Comic Comics, and I'll see you on our next top 10 video.